Welcome back to the channel, guys. We are back again, and today we're going to be doing a fragrance review for R.A.M.C. by Genre Parfums. So stay tuned, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button before we get into the review. R.A.M.C. or Ran After My Car by Genre Parfum is an original creation. Genre Parfum has a nice selection of clone fragrances, but they also have some originals, and this is one of the originals, so I wanted to do a review on this one. So this is the bottle it comes in. I gotta say the spray on this one is pretty good. You get a really nice burst from the atomizer. Also comes with this nice clip here that certainly keeps it on, so it doesn't have a cap, but it does have the clip here to stop it from being sprayed. And so this is the overall presentation for the original creations from Genre Parfum. This one has top notes of bergamot, lemon, pineapple, and chassis. The middle notes are jasmine, clary sage, and spicy notes. And the base notes are oud, nargamatha, white musk, and amber. Now what do I get when I smell this one? Right off the bat, I do get a nice burst of the citruses. Honestly, it does depend a little bit on when I'm smelling it, on whether or not I pick up more on the pineapple or the lemon. Those, to my nose, are the two major players in the opening. Sometimes I feel like it's pineapple dominated, sometimes I feel that it's lemon dominated, but altogether it sort of creates this nice fruity accord that isn't actually overly zesty or citrusy. It just blends together nicely to create something a little bit more fruity. And there is a light sweetness there that I think comes from the chassis as well. I do also get right up top a lot of the muskiness. So this does have white musk in the base, and to me, in the opening, this comes off fairly strongly as well. So it does come off as a musky, fruity fragrance in the initial burst. And I do get that muskiness throughout the entire life of this fragrance. A little bit later on, I do start to pick up the spices a little bit more. It's fairly lightly spiced. It's not by any means a strong spice. Maybe if you think more like something R.A.M. Sport, where there is a spiciness with the citrus accord there, but it's not particularly dominant. It's certainly not a very loud spice. It is just something that to me is sort of there. And I actually do really enjoy the mixture of the citruses and that spicy note. It does create a really nice vibe. And the overall muskiness is also quite nice as well. A little bit later on, I do actually start to pick up a little bit more of the floral presence. This doesn't last a long time to my nose, but it does become a little bit more prominent about, I don't know, an hour or so after this is on my skin. I certainly do get a little bit more prominence from those floral notes, and they do definitely make themselves known a little bit more. They don't really become exceptionally dominant, but they are certainly there. And I think actually after that sort of dies down a little bit is when I actually really appreciate this fragrance the most, is when it starts to become more of a somewhat spicy musk with maybe a little bit of citrus in it as well. I do like how the muskiness mixes in with the spice to create a somewhat unique flavor, and there is overall a light woodiness too. I don't really pick up on oud specifically, so this doesn't come off as, you know, barnyard or whatever people often describe oud as, or even lighter oud fragrances. I don't really detect it as oud specifically, but it definitely has some kind of woody feel to it. Now, all in all, I do actually like the dry down quite a bit. I like how you get this woody, musky base that mixes a little bit with some spiciness, some light spiciness, to create a really interesting flavor for sure. This one also has good performance, so I get at least 8 hours of performance with this, and it does get about 3 or 4 hours of projection as well. The only real problem I guess I find with this one is that I do go fairly nose blind to this one after about 3 or 4 hours. I can't really smell it myself, but it certainly is there because other people can smell it. They've certainly commented on it as well, and I've gotten a few comments with it long after I couldn't smell it. So this one does perform well, creates a nice scent cloud around you, definitely trails around you. I don't think it's really one of these ones that's crazy room filling, but it's definitely one that people are going to smell when they're near you. And I don't think it really dies down to much of the skin scent until really, really late in the fragrance. So this one does also perform really well. I mean, overall, I think this is a really great fragrance. I think the thing about it is that it's fairly unique. I mean, the first time I smelled it, I picked up a lot of that pineapple, so I immediately thought, Aventus. But honestly, this does not smell anything like Aventus, especially smelling the whole way through. It has a much more unique profile, and I really got to give it to Genre Parfums with this one because I do feel that it's actually fairly unique among the fragrances that I've smelled, and they've managed to do something I think that does break away, I guess, to some respect from a lot of typical citrusy fragrances. So I think that's really well done. And this is one that is really, really popular, so this is definitely a mass-pleasing fragrance. This is something that a lot of people really, really enjoy. So I will say, I also agree, this is a great fragrance. There is some discussion in the Genre Parfums neighborhood on which fragrance is better. So some people talk about R.A.M.C, other people talk about Voodoo, and which one is sort of the king of the originals. I'm going to be honest with you, I am Team Voodoo. I just love the bitter grapefruit. I love the fresh vetiver. But this one is definitely worthy of second place in my opinion. It's really nice, very original fragrance, and I find it hard to really pinpoint something else that smells like this. So it's very well blended, and there's really a lot going on, and there's good depth as well with the creativity with this one. So all in all, I think this is a really great fragrance. The price point is also very good. So you can get 60 ml for $50, which again is a good price. So considering the performance and the originality factor and the quantity that you get for $50, I do think this is a pretty good deal. Anyways, guys, that's it for this one, R.A.M.C. If you haven't checked this one out, do check it out. You won't regret it. And as always, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.